Hello. I learned a lot from this week's material. So, for the three standardized tests that I'm analyzing, I chose intelligence test, aptitude test, and achievement tests. So, intelligence tests basically measure the child's IQ, basically their intelligence functioning levels, and they can also serve as aptitude tests. So, tying into aptitude tests basically test how much an individual is going to be able to learn, essentially, like how much they're going to learn based on like their IQ levels at the moment. That makes sense. And then achievement levels basically tests what the individual has learned throughout the school year and is testing if they know it. As for issues with reliability and validity, starting with reliability, some issues can lie with the fact that the length of the test, how many questions are on it, and they can also lie with any extraneous factors that can occur in the room during the test, like for example, a child talking, some type of noise, anything that can distract the child can affect reliability results. And as for validity results, they can be affected by unclear instructions on the test, by the vocabulary on the test, maybe the child isn't able to understand it, and some test items that may not be appropriate for the test objectives at the moment. As for how to make sure that we're giving the best suggested test for young children, you basically have to make sure that the test results will be used like accordingly. Make sure that the characteristics of the children are taken into account when giving the test, administering the test, in the sense of like that they align with what the child has learned and what the child knows how to do already. And we also have to make sure to choose a test that will basically not be that costly, that it won't take that much time, and that we're able to easily score it. And tying in with the easy scoring, we have to make sure that we have people who are qualified to interpret the results and use the results accurately. And as the assignment said, to connect it to what I already knew about standardized tests. So what I already knew about standardized tests, basically I took them my whole life, especially when I was a child. We would take aptitude tests in the sense of every year, like kindergarten, first, second, third, even when I was in pre-K as well. We would take a test to determine how much we knew on the material, which I never really understood, but now that I've gotten the broad understanding of it, it kind of makes sense as to why we took that test, to be able to see basically how much we would learn based on our levels of intelligence already, which ties into intelligence tests, which are basically testing based on our levels of intelligence, what we already know. Connecting it to standardized tests as well, in the sense of at the end of the year, we would take tests to measure, like for example, a state test that would measure what we knew based on everything we learned throughout the school year. So it would just be an achievement test, and I didn't really know the difference between tests when I was taking them. I would just take the tests as they came. I just thought they were all measuring kind of what I already knew. Not what I already knew, like what I learned. But now I see that they were all structured in a different way to be able to analyze a child in a way and analyze their intelligence levels. As for to extend new ideas on what I already knew, it's the same sense of like learning about what these tests really are meant to like basically showcase based on the child, because I just thought, like I said, it was just based on what we were learning in the school year. I didn't know that there was some type of division in the tests to really see the way that the human mind changes, in the sense of like what we already learned, what we can learn, like the potential that we have to learn. So I think it's cool to see that, and like being able to understand it kind of pushed my thinking into like realizing why that they do these different types of tests and why there's so many tests when we're in early childhood. There's a bunch of exams for children for this reason. A challenge that I still have is understanding exactly how to cater these tests to each child's individual needs, because in reality I don't know how we could cater tests to basically be valid and reliable when each child has individual characteristics and different mannerisms, and they can be very different in every sense. So to me it seems a little bit difficult to kind of make the test apply to every child, if that makes sense. Thank you.